Alright guys, this is Mr. Bitter. I'm coming at you again with another English audio commentary. Today I'm going to be looking at the set between STX and WeMade. The first game is between WeMade's young Terran stud Baby and STX's also young and studly Terran player Soul. We've got Soul in the bottom left hand corner around the 7 o'clock position. He's in yellow, and Baby's up in the top right in green. This is a TVT, and I'm going to come right out and say that my Terran knowledge is extremely lacking. I'm a Protoss player, so I have a fair understanding of the Protoss matchups, but my knowledge of the TVT matchup is pretty abysmal. I just know what I hear from other commentators, and that's really all I have to go on. But we'll see what we can do. We'll see if we can't get through this one. The next two games or the next few games feature some Protoss players, so I should be able to be a little more insightful on those. At any rate, this is a mirror match, and both players are probably going to do nearly identical builds in the early moments of this game, both starting their supply depots at virtually the same time. Really nothing noteworthy just yet. In TVT, one thing that we sometimes see is fast expansions, and that's a good thing because establishing that early economic advantage is very powerful, and that's something that Flash kind of became a little bit famous for. He was also recently criticized for being too predictable, going fast expand in every TVT, and he got beat up a little bit for it. In this game, it looks like both players have dropped their first Raxes around the same time, and are also both getting gas around the same time. That looks like probably around 11 Rax, 11 gas on both guys. I would imagine that both players will also mine gas up to 100, then pull 2 SCVs off of gas, leaving one mining so that they can get a factory and as fast as possible command center. There goes the first factory for Soul, and he has indeed... Oh no, he hasn't. He has not pulled SCVs off gas. Baby, on the other hand, has, and his first factory is also building. So Baby will be going for an earlier command center than Soul. Soul's first Marine popping out, and he's going to be trying to usher that scout out of his base. I'm going to harp on this a lot. Scouting is the defining characteristic of a good StarCraft player. Live and die by the scout. If you know what's going on, you can counter it, and you can attack in ways that your opponent is less likely to be able to counter. So that Marine quickly ushered out Baby Scout, but he is going to loop it around and see if he can't get a feel for when that command center is going to go down for Soul, and Soul looks like he's getting ready to start on that. Interestingly, in spite of Babies having pulled SCVs off of his factory, it looks like both players are going to be starting their command centers at just about the same time. Maybe Soul pulled SCVs and I didn't realize it. 3 Marines out for Soul, 2 out for Baby, both getting their machine shop add-ons. Both probably going to grab siege tech as soon as possible, and they'll likely slowly and surely push their ways up the map and do whatever they can to contain and eventually choke out their opponent. TVT is kind of infamous for being slow and very methodical. It's almost like a chess match in that players can do very little real-time combat outside of dropship play, at least once siege mode comes into play. Soul trying to sneak a scout into Baby's base. He's not going to be successful. There's a vulture blocking that ramp, and Marines around to chase that SCV off. Let's see what else we got going on. We got a second factory going down up in Baby's base, and he's got some vultures out. That's interesting. That's an interesting choice. I wonder if he's researching spider mines there in that shop rather than siege. Vultures are not something that you see a whole lot of in Terran versus Terran, simply because they lose so badly to siege tanks. However, they can be very effective harassment tools. There's one out for Sol as well, and they certainly can make life very difficult for SCVs. Lots of those were spider mines being researched by Baby, and he actually able to take out Sol's first siege tank, and he's got 3 vultures moving down the field towards Sol's expansion. I don't know. No, Baby's not going to push in with those vultures. He's just going to be setting spider mines and ensuring that Sol can't move out while he macros up a little bit more. Losing that first siege tank is going to be problematic, because that means for a while Baby's going to be able to push in without threat of that long-range artillery fire. Now we've got 4 vultures pushing in down on Sol's base, 5 vultures pushing in down here, and he doesn't have nearly enough to fight this off. He's having to come out and defend with SCVs, and you do not want to be defending against the vultures with SCVs, because they make short work of the little workers. Baby still with superior numbers. He's got Sol badly outnumbered here. He may very well be able to end this game in the coming moments. Sol has retreated up his ramp. He's got SCVs in front of vultures. Baby just planting mines all around that command center before pulling back. In mirror matches, the slightest economic advantage can go miles, and that's something true for all the mirrors. ZVZ, PvP, and TVT is no exception. So this little advantage that Baby has gained is going to be huge. I really would go ahead and just predict that there's no way Sol's going to get back in this game, because he's lost SCVs. He's invested in a command center, and he's getting no return on that investment. There's nothing mining there, and he's even lost his early fighting units. Baby's starting to macro pretty heavily. He's got I think his 4th factory going down, adding lots of depots to keep up with his production, and he's still making vultures just pouring down the center of the map, and not engaging at all, but just essentially containing Sol into his natural. 5 factories up for Baby, only 1 shop. So I guess he's really. Perhaps I was hasty in saying that vultures aren't a common unit in TVT. Like I said, I'm not a Terran player, and I have a minimal understanding of the TVT matchup. Academy going up for Sol. He's going to be researching adding a comsat as soon as that finishes. Obviously, there won't be any Marines to supplement his vultures, and excuse me, Baby just planting spider mines around the map so that he can have an idea of any of Sol's movement on the ground, as well as those mines will act as a deterrent for anything like siege tanks or Goliaths. However, neither player has built an armory yet, so we haven't seen any Goliaths. So really, basically, both players posturing. Sol trying to establish some sort of an economy. It looks like, no, for a second I thought Baby had added his 3rd, but that's just his natural with no gas, no refinery having been built yet. This is cute. Baby has landed his barracks in Sol's base, and that momentarily trapped those vultures in that tank. Lots and lots of vultures up on that ramp for Baby, and his first tank finally inching down there. 2 tanks for Sol, and he doesn't have. He's got some sizable vulture numbers as well, but he's not got quite as many as Baby. Baby looks like he might have 2 control groups, while Sol has, I don't know, less than that. Sol looks like he might be trying to push, though. If nothing else, he's moving out of his natural a little bit, as Baby adds another machine shop, so he can no doubt start pumping tanks. Here comes a big engagement. Baby on the high ground. He does have siege mode, and he does have greater numbers. He's going to plow right through Sol here. There's no contest, and that's probably going to be